guys, welcome back with Wesley Banda. It's been a while since we talked about Landa App. As a matter of fact, so much have changed in that app, almost I'm talking about new app today. They changed their design, they fixed their performance issue, they even added new market. But the most important change came to Landa App was actually them adding multifamily housing, which made them the first app to ever offer a fractional share in multifamily housing. So today I'm going to be talking about multifamily housing, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm also going to talk about the specific changes that took place into Landa App for multifamily housing. But before I go ahead and do so, I want to point out, as of the time I'm making this video, we're having a giveaway going on our channel. So if you are interested to earn some cash in order to invest it in Landa App, make sure to check our giveaway. I also want to point out, if you have not signed up to Landa App yet, you have an opportunity to earn a free share worth up to $28. So check the link in the description. Now let's go in and jump in. I will start by comparing investing in a single family house versus multi-family house. And I want to point out we are only looking at small multi-family houses, something with 3 to 4 units like what's already available on Landa App, because bigger multi-family houses are completely different animal. Now when it comes to appreciation, single family houses tend to win hands down. And the reason for this, if you decide to go ahead and sell it, you have a much bigger pool of buyer. You have people who want to buy their first house. Nobody wants to go ahead and buy a house for their family and have it like a small apartment in a multifamily housing, right? So it's much more popular, it's much more wanted. And this is what we are looking at right now. When we are looking at the real estate market, most of the appreciation coming to the single family houses. Multifamily houses, you have a smaller pool of buyers. Usually it's companies. Take into consideration multifamily houses require more management. So not everybody want to go ahead and get in that headache. Now, when it comes to rental income, definitely multifamily houses have a higher income, and the reason for this, you have multiple units. You also have a safety, because if one of your rentals decided to leave, you still have other tenants who are still paying income. Unlike, for example, single family house, if you have one tenant and he leaves, that's not a good thing, because all of a sudden now you have no income whatsoever. So when it comes to rental income, definitely a multifamily housing considered a safer option. However, it doesn't really mean you're getting the higher return. When it comes to dividends, single family houses tend to pay higher. And the reason for this, you have much lower operation cost. You have a much lower maintenance cost. So most of the money coming in is actually profit. So when it comes to dividend, single family houses are still a winner. So when we are looking at the ROI overall, definitely single family houses seems to be the winner here. Now I want to point out, it doesn't mean that multifamily houses are bad options. There's a lot of advantages of investing in a multifamily housing, even from environmental point of view and so on. But we are looking from an investor who actually buying a share, right? I'm looking at the top picture as an investor. I want to go ahead and buy a multifamily housing or single family housing. Which one would I actually prefer to do? Now next, we're going to go ahead and compare the difference between investing in a single family house and multifamily house with Landa App. Now let's take a look on how this actually applies to Landa App. Now, when it comes to ownership percent, one thing that a lot of people did not notice, when you're actually investing in single family house on Landa App, you technically have only 10,000 share per house. So what Landa App does, they go in, they buy a house, they break it into 10,000 share. If you go ahead and buy 100 share, you already own 1% of that single family house. When it comes to multifamily housing, they had to change the rule. So you're actually going in and buying a share in 100,000. So they actually multiplied the original single family house multiplied by 10. So you need to buy 1,000 share just to go ahead and own that 1% of the multifamily housing. Also, the prices of the share came much higher when it came to multifamily housing to compare to a single family house. Now, this being said, the dividend also did not seem to be promising. When we actually look at the dividend, I noticed a lot of the single family houses were providing me a higher return compared to a multifamily house. So if you decide to go ahead, I like the idea of multifamily housing, there's advantage of it, let me buy the share. Now you want to go ahead and sell it. This is another thing you need to think about it, right? You're going to have to sell it in the secondary market of Landa App. You need to take into consideration, now you have much more share. So people who will be interested to invest, they're going to see, hey, there's 100 share of this property. Even I want to buy, I'm not going to offer as high or as competitive price. So you need to take into consideration that appreciation or even the secondary market, the chances is you will not be doing better with multifamily housing versus single family housing. Now, a lot of you are going to say, okay, if this is the case, why would I go ahead and invest in multifamily housing altogether in Landa App, right? And I'm gonna be honest, I can see this. Like when it comes to Georgia, for example, I don't see the point of why would I go ahead and own share in a multifamily housing, because if I have $100, for example, I can go ahead and buy one share for $100 in a multifamily house, or I can take the $100 and break it into 10 and like invest $10 in 10 different property. Guess what? I now double down. I take the advantage of the multifamily housing in Landa App by buying a single family house, because this is the whole advantage of investing in fractional share, right? Me being able to go ahead and buy fractional share in different property. From my perspective, and again, this is my own opinion, I would prefer to own single family house over multifamily houses. However, I have to take into consideration the market. So for me right now, one of the areas that I'm interested to own shares in is in New York. I'm gonna be honest, single family houses in New York City is almost impossible to get, right? And this is the case. When it comes to multifamily housing, I can see the case. Why would I go ahead and invest in multifamily housing in an area like New York? But when it comes to Georgia or other places where I can go ahead and own single family housing, I don't see the appeal. So this is my own perspective, and again, it comes down to you. Before I end this video, I want to point out we have not provided an update on my Landa app for a while. So my next video will have a major update for Landa app. So if you are interested to go ahead and see that video, make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like this video, and turn on the notification button. Thank you guys, and stay tuned with Banda.